Okay. Peace and blessings. You are on season 1, episode 2 of Headphones and Head Wraps, where we keep you plugged into the latest releases, artist activism, tech, and hot topics. And this is your host, Queen D, with your other host, the very beautiful and talented Miss Arian Nicole.
Hey.
So
All right. We got a lot to talk about.
we do have a lot to talk about. I'm going to go ahead and share this screen. We are going to jump right into our first segment, Slap or It's a Wrap. So let's pull up this video so we can get started with our new releases this week. All right. Can you see the screen, Miss Arian?
I can see the screen.
Okay. So our first song for Slap or It's a Wrap is going to be Savage, and it's the remix featuring Beyonce, and of course the original artist is Megan Thee Stallion. Now I believe this is just an audio visualizer, so it's not really a video, but we'll listen and let's go. Okay. That's the first song. I'll let it play a little bit longer so we can get Beyonce's verse in there. So what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, of course, I know the hook. I see girls talking about it all the time, but I was like, okay, what they trying to do? Turn it up on the savagery? What's going on?
Man, the song has been everywhere, all over the place. When I was listening to Beyonce's verse, she did like a rappy type verse, and then she does have a singing verse later on in the song. The rap verse, she was talking about demon time, and I don't know, I must be just old school. I didn't know what the world demon time was.
You know what? I should have Googled it. I should have Googled demon time, because it's just not something you go on the block and say, hey, it's demon time, y'all. It's just not something. So I'm like, what is that, girl? We out of demon time. So I don't know. I don't know if I can rock with demon time. I can't.
Yeah, I didn't know what demon time was, and she's talking about starting an OnlyFans. Now, OnlyFans site, from what I've seen on Twitter, is a site where celebrities, or I guess average people, whoever, can start their own website and show exclusive pictures to their OnlyFans, and you have to pay for the membership. But from what I'm hearing, it's geared towards like sex workers. So they're showing like pornography type stuff or like nudes on this OnlyFans site. So I thought that was real interesting that that she put that as part of her verse.
It's porn 2.0.
Okay. That's what I mean, according to Twitter. So according to Black Twitter, this is the site where you would post your more risque photos that might be snatched down on Instagram, or your risque videos. It's something that's supposed to be a little bit more X-rated.
Yeah. Okay. So, we had, fans only, people in times only, or whatever only for a while, right? So we had prostitution and stuff like that for a while. I don't know too much about it to equate it, but it sounds like that's what it, is to me. But for them to put it in a song, I guess Beyonce, I don't know, like, I'm trying to demon time and fans only together. I don't know, sis. Maybe it's the way we putting it together, but it's just kind of like
we didn't put that
demon
together.
Time,
she put that
fans
together.
Only, demon time. Right. Like, okay, so demon time for fans only, I guess. So fans of demons. I don't know.
I'm guessing demon time just means ratchet time, and that's why she put it together with the fans only. I do like that. I need to look at the credits. I don't know if she wrote her verse. I don't know if Jay-Z penned this verse for her or not. Did you hear anything about that?
I did get a chance to look and see some credits in it. I didn't see Jay-Z on it, unless, maybe it's the alias. Some people do write under aliases, so I don't know. But I don't know what's going on. I saw Megan as one of the writers. I didn't see Beyonce. And so the demon time came from someone else. But I'm not liking it. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. I'm sorry. It just didn't.
That line did give me the heebie-jeebies. I love rappy Beyonce, though. I like when she kind of flows on a track. And I did listen to the rest of it, and I like the singing verses. I think they did a really good remix. Another topic people were talking about with the remixes now is that, I guess, old school style remixes, people remix the whole track. they would throw different verses in, which Megan Thee Stallion did. She
Right.
put in a different verse.
Mm-hmm.
She bring in the new artist, and the artist is all throughout the track on this one. Like you hear Beyonce doing some harmonies, and she comes in with her verses. Versus the new school remix, where they just get an artist to feature on their song for just like one verse, and it's like the same track.
It's the same thing. They just be like remix and then a different verse. So I got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did appreciate that. Megan wrote another verse for this one than the original version. I liked Beyonce on it, so I think it's cool. I say other than that Demon Timeline, it slaps for me.
The beat slap, but the lyrics are rap. I'm sorry, I ain't judging nobody, fans only, and all this kind of stuff. But no, the lyrics is a rap. Sorry.
All right, we got ours a rap from Erin.
Wrap that up.
Okay, we're gonna move along to our second song. We're gonna do just 3 songs for Slap or It's a Rap. So our second song of the 3 is gonna be by Miss Doja Cat, featuring Nicki Minaj, and I think it's dope because we got 2 female rappers on a track. So I got it queued up here. Oh look, Erin, it got like 6.6. It's almost 7 million views on this.
Okay, 10% of the population.
No.
Okay.
All right, that was Miss Doja Cat featuring Nicki Minaj. What are your thoughts?
Doja Cat and Nicki Minaj. Okay. Yeah. So the bars came in. I was like, okay. So I was trying to, follow. I heard some things I like, some things, I don't know. I like the vibe. I like that voice too. Disco vibe and
the video looks kind of 80s or something with the colors and reminds me of Austin Powers.
Yeah. Right. So
I like that Nicki switched up the beat on her verse.
Yeah. I was like, what happened?
So that was kind of surprising. It reminds me of like Kanye West's productions, how he just like totally flips it. It almost sounds like a completely different song within the beat.
Right. That was dope.
I like that. There's some bars at the end that caught a lot of attention. So I'm going to skip forward so we can listen to those.
Okay.
Let's see.
It was a few bars in the first that caught my attention. I was like, what? No, what?
Well, apparently Nicki Minaj was taking shots at somebody at the end of the song. So we're going to try to cue it up to this part and we're going to listen and see who we can guess who she was taking shots at. All right. So it says something about fillers in your face. Your real A didn't keep your dude home. That's word to silicone. Who do you think she's talking about?
What? I'm sorry, but there's so many people that might fit that description. I don't know.
I mean, when I heard it, that's what I thought too. I'm like, so many people that could fit the description, but apparently the Twitter thought that she was taking shots at Beyonce.
Oh my God, how dare. Like, come on, that's like, no.
I know.
Like at this point in your career, you don't have to do that. So I'm thinking like you just talking smack or talking mess, just, for the sake of the track. Cause I'm like, Beyonce, like that's a different level. Like, no, if anything, there should be respect. What happened to cause any disrespect? Twitter.
I know. Well, first, her fans thought that she was talking about Wendy Williams, because as we know, Wendy Williams has a natural behind, and her husband did cheat on her. So they thought that line was directed at Wendy Williams. Now, Nicki Minaj just addressed this on her Twitter and said, no, you guys stop it. I'm not talking about Wendy.
Okay.
So they thought they were talking about Beyonce. She was talking about Beyonce. Now, she never came out and denied if she was talking about Beyonce or not. But like you said, this is kind of a general bar. I think she was just talking smack too.
Yeah, I think so too. We were really anxious for. It's just they know it's the art of social media and marketing. Like I'm gonna say this and people gonna be talking about it.
I think so too. All right, so is it a slap or is it a rap for you? The song.
Dang, we done philosophized so much. The beat was hard when it came on. I love Doja Cat's voice. Once again, the lyrics kind of be messing up with me. Dang. What was y'all talking about? So the first half slapped, the second rap, I wrapped it up. It's a 50-50 for me. I'm sorry. I ain't giving no answer.
I have to agree. If I'm judging it versus this version versus the original version, I do like this version better. I think Nicki always brings a lot to the track, so I'm gonna say this one slaps in comparison to the original. Yeah, I agree with you on the lyrics though. Those can be wrapped up.
Okay, y'all. It's a tie for me, 50-50.
Okay, so our last song for our Slapper It's a Rack segment is going to be the return of Tekashi 6ix9ine. Now we know
okay.
Mr. 6ix9ine is out of jail.
Yes.
He served his time and he's out now. Mm-hmm. And he came out with a big bang. He was on Instagram Live and he broke all-time records on Instagram, had 2 million people on his live stream.
I was not one of them viewing. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know when he went live either, but I just saw it on Twitter that he broke the record. And this is a single he came out with, Gooba. Yes, and as we see, is number one on trending on YouTube with 64.7 million views.
64. All right, 65.
Not 64.7. He almost at 65 million views since
That's crazy.
It's 3.7 million likes.
In the population right there. I thought the first one was. This makes a good portion of the planet was listening to this. Let's hear what they were listening to. Let's turn it up so I can really hear the lyrics.
Okay, just for our viewing audience and our podcasters, I want to cut out a lot of this video because I've seen clips of this already. So here we go.
All right.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up. I warned you before the video came on.
Look like
64 million views.
Okay, so 64 million views. Everybody wanted to come and see. They wanted to come and see the radical Mr. 6ix9ine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just sitting here looking like
we got quiet.
Wow.
I'm like, what is that?
It got real quiet. I was like, all right. So he basically came off, with the whole 50 Cent marketing campaign. So he's definitely for shocking off. That's number one. Mm-hmm. He followed 50 Cent's marketing strategy. Even with the video, he's coming out and he's like this little kid with grown women in here. Number one, all the colors to me scream kindergarten children racing to the screen, only to see some ish they should not see. Mm-hmm. So this dude's a clown.
He is a clown with all his clown colors. I can't tell you what this song was about because I didn't really listen to the lyrics.
I couldn't listen to the lyrics. The video was messing with my pupils.
I know. At some point in the video, one of his girlfriends or something's in here. She has him tattooed on her shoulder.
One of his girlfriends?
I don't know if it's baby mama girlfriend. I don't know. I don't follow this dude like this.
Oh my God. I feel so sad watching that.
I know. It was a lot. It was a lot, wasn't it? He is on house arrest. He showed his ankle bracelet in the video, apparently. And this is how he chose to come back out. So one thing, I don't see the gang affiliation anymore in here. I will say that. So I guess
because he's not a street guy.
He's not a street guy anymore. So it looks like he is done with that. And I think there has to be some genius to this though, because he's able to pull in and break records with these numbers. So he knows something about marketing.
Well, see, you got to think about it though. Well, yeah, he was schooled by 50 Cent technically. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. 50 came out dissing everybody, causing all of this controversy, and he pretty much followed that same strategy. So boom, he has everybody looking. Okay. Then he goes to jail facing federal time.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody's watching yet again what's going to happen to this kid with the rainbow hair in prison. And he comes out. Now, to me, he goes above and beyond his radical duties. And he's naming Cardi. He's naming, people who ain't got nothing to do.
Mm-hmm.
with
this
his
racketeering case, right?
yeah, with his racketeering case. So for me, I can understand what he was saying as far as, hey, they beat me up, or they threatened my moms and slept with my girlfriend and all of this. But those are not the only people you came for. So that's a whole nother subject. It's just a big melee to me. It's a big distraction in melee.
I would like to see if he's able to continue this. Like you said, everybody kind of tuned in because they wanted to see what he was going to come back
They
with.
want to see. It's the
But now
Tekashi
that
show.
they see that he's kind of on the same vibe he was before, just minus the gang affiliations. We'll
Do you
see.
think it's going to continue? Think he's going to continue to be an icon?
I think for some reason, he has the attention of the youth. Like, you don't
Look at
get
all the colors. That's kindergarten. If my son saw this,
65
I would
million
slap
views.
Tekashi.
So he must have some kind of fans. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's not our vibe, but well, I don't know what we can do.
We could talk just like we talking now. Hopefully, somebody with some sense will agree with us.
Mm-hmm. So did you catch how he said "Assalamu alaikum" in the chorus in the hood?
I caught it, and I don't know if it's a mockery because, like you know, what I'm saying, it's a lot of Muslims in the culture. Hip hop came from that. So is that a tribute of some kind of respect, or is it a mockery because it's popular, or just throwing stuff out there? It's a shock factor. Shock, shock, shock. I mean, how these girls on here half naked? It's a mockery to me. I'm not with it. I'm not liking it. He needs to change and repent,
He does. And, okay, so what is your view about him saying the N-word? Now, people were up in arms about that because he is Hispanic. I'm not sure if he's Puerto Rican or what or
He
where
is a
he's
caricature of hip hop culture. He's a caricature of hip hop culture. So he's going to say nigga. He's going to have the colors, and he's going to have the sisters out with their backsides out. He's basically a representation of what hip hop has become. Boom, there you go.
There you go. Ugh. All right, so I'm gonna say this is a wrap. I'm gonna wrap this one up for me,
We're
and
gonna wrap it up.
all right, so that was our segment for Slapper. It's a wrap, and we're gonna move on along.
Oh Lord.
You want to get started with the artist and activism?
I need to breathe after that. Was that too much for me? I think it was a little too much for me. All right. Art and activism. Let's elevate this and then right into Diddy. All right, he said the black vote will not be free this year. We stated that on IG. Also stated that ourfairshare.com, where all minority-owned businesses can get the proper paperwork for stimulus money that is allocated towards businesses. So we're going to give it up for Diddy for that. Black vote ain't free this year, and ourfairshare.com.
Yes. I like the ourfairshare.com where he was giving those resources out. So when the government was giving those stimulus checks to the businesses so that they can maintain throughout this, coronavirus stuff, he was giving, resources out because a lot of times our businesses don't know where to go to get these funding. And so we get left out, and the bigger businesses or, the other businesses get all the funds. I did pull this screen up here because one of his employees, Kenny Burns, commented on his post on Instagram when he said, "Attention all, the black vote will not be free this year." So Kenny Burns replied back, "Puff, this statement is very irresponsible at this point. The only option is to get Trump out of office. Come on, champ. Encouraging people to stand by is not an option. Vote or die." Now we know vote or die was the slogan that Diddy came up with a few years ago to get everybody involved in voting, get the youth involved. So what is your stance on this?
My stance on that is that, number one, anybody that brings about a radical change or something that is against the status quo, you're going to meet conflict. And that's what is in this for me. It's like opposition and conflict because, we just got to get Trump out of office. What we don't understand is that our problems are bigger than political. Mm-hmm. And if we keep doing the same thing over and over again, we're going to put another Trump in office. When will we learn? So I think it's about, change. Diddy's bringing he's trying to change the culture for real. He's not just trying to get out and vote because we're gonna change society year after year after year after year. That change never trickles down to us, no matter who's in office. So I would like real change, not just going with the status quo. That's my take on that.
I agree. And I can see both sides of this argument. Because Trump, we know, has done things like the I want to call them internment camps, how he put these children in cages at the border. So we do know Trump is definitely doing things that we don't agree with. But at the same time, I agree with Diddy that our vote is not going to be free this year. And we need somebody that's going to address what we want. Now, at the back page of the final call on every single issue, we have what the Muslims want and what our
Yes.
program is. So if we need points to rally around and what we want to demand from these candidates, we already have a program set up. So they do these panels. Did he have another panel and they're trying to talk about, well, what should our demands be? We have a program. So,
and I think that's missing from Kenny Burns' statement, is to actually address what it is that he's talking about. Not the fact, we want to get Trump out. We can all agree, like you said, the children in the prisons, and that's just foul. You know what I'm saying? But what is he trying to say? Can we come together, right? Not bash each other in public. Go back doors, hash it out for the benefit of the whole.
Exactly.
So
I agree. What we got next, Miss Arian?
So we got Dame Dash, according to the Source magazine. He plans to release weekly video content about maintaining diabetes. That's what's up.
Yeah, that's definitely what's up. I pulled up his website here. So this is his website. Welcome to the Dame Dash Diabetes Lifestyle Network. And it looks like you can look at YouTube clips and some episodes where you can get some education on diabetes. There he is talking. And you get news, and he has a blog up here. So I think this is dope because, diabetes does affect our community. Oh, I think this is his wife.
Yes.
A lot. We're affected by it a lot at a higher rate than other communities, along with like high blood pressure. So I think that is good that he's trying to do some good things in the community with this. And so if anybody wants to go to his website, I have it like blocked a little bit here. It's -diabetesnetwork.com, and you can get more information there. So we're definitely gonna give it up for Dame Dash.
Yeah, we're gonna give it up. That's good. Diabetes is a silent killer, so let's not be silent about it. All right.
Exactly.
All right. So next up, just like the song we reviewed, Savage, Meg Thee Stallion. All proceeds are going towards the Bread of Life disaster relief organization in Houston. So Meg Thee Stallion, Beyonce, Houston, all the proceeds from the song is going to that organization. So
yeah, I think that's dope. Excuse me. I think that's dope that they made it a fundraiser song. I did see that Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande came out with a song, and they did the same thing where all the proceeds would go to a good cause. So I think that's dope that they're doing that. I think especially during this time with the COVID and Corona, we can't just be business as usual. And I like that they're giving back to the community. So yeah, definitely applause for that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Oh wait, there's one more thing. Beyonce and Tina Knowles launched Knowles Lawson, sorry, she remarried, to launch COVID-19 testing initiative in Houston. Mama Tina said, a quote, the virus is wreaking havoc on the Black community, so we need a movement to prioritize our health. We are all in this together, but we have to look at what is happening in our Black and Brown communities and how they are being decimated by COVID-19.
Boom. Thank you, Mama Knowles Lawson.
Yes. And if you go to Beyonce's website, I think it's Be Good. That's her foundation.
Okay.
They have where you can get free testing for COVID-19 in the area of Houston. So that's really dope.
That's great, especially in this time. That is absolutely great.
Yeah. And I think it's free too. So check that out for real.
Yeah. Come on, y'all. Y'all out there partying. Go get tested.
I know. So we gonna move on to our hot topics. And we're gonna have to start it off with what's been the rave all over Instagram, all over Twitter, all over Facebook. It is the Verzuz battle with the queens, Jill and Erykah. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and get started talking about that.
Erykah. All right. So first, they definitely ranked the highest in all of the Verzuz battles that have happened, with over 700,000 viewers.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody was waiting. I mean, it came on. It was just, I was excited. I was shrieking like I was in the stadium. I'm gonna say that number one. I was like, sing it. Go ahead, sing it with them and stuff. And the queens got on there. They dropped knowledge. They were talking to each other about their writing process. Jill at one point asked her, you know, Erykah, when did you start writing? And then Erykah just opened up, and Erykah revealed that she had a poem book that she shared with no one. And then that's when Jill said, when you start writing, it doesn't belong to you anymore. Once you put it on paper, I got chills, you know, because it's just for, you know, they just went into the essence of art. It was just so beautiful for us to witness that. And it wasn't, you know, a versus like, hey, I'm gonna try to outdo you, and then you outdo. They were queens about it. And so we needed that. We needed that music and that frequency. And I loved both of them. I was cracking up because in the beginning, what was Jill? Jill's, you know, she was, you know, I'm not on the man-made holidays. I love that. That whole new world vibe, you know. I just love it. I was a fangirl all the way.
Yeah, I definitely fangirled out too. I loved it. Like you said, it was just a real love fest. It didn't seem as competitive as the other versus battles. Like, let me throw mine out, let me throw yours out. And in fact, I love the way they started out the versus battle. I think Erykah played a song that Jill wrote for her. And I think she's mentioned that was one of the only times in her career that she had like another writer. And Jill was just so thankful.
It was
just
the
that
only time,
yeah, that essence of gratitude from Jill, because she was like, basically she gave her first shot. She didn't have to work with a brand new songwriter, and she sang her song, and that was beautiful. So I like how she started with that one. I know they helped each other. It was definitely a cool vibe. I have some of it here pulled up on the screen. I'm gonna play a few seconds of it so people can see it on YouTube and you can hear it on the podcast. So this is the song I was just talking about.
Yeah.
That I didn't know Jill Scott wrote this. Did you know?
No. So when I watched Dave Chappelle's Block Party, that's when it was first revealed for me. They actually, and I think that's the part that I think maybe Jill played, because I think the Roots were out there, Dave Chappelle. I watched that. I owned that DVD and rewatched it over and over. But no, yeah. So yeah, they brought Jill out on stage, and it was just magical. They both sang together. So I remember that piece of history, and that's when they went into it on the documentary. You know, that Jill wrote it, Erykah heard it and fell in love with it, and I followed them, you know, for a few years in it. So to see them finally, you know, get together again when we don't have concerts anymore, you know, 700,000, almost 1 million people got that concert.
Yeah, that was so dope. And then I did check into Erykah Badu's after party, called the Wild Vibe. What was it called? I can't remember the name of it.
It was I didn't even make no sense. I was like, it was the Wild Type.
Yeah. It was dope. I always love to see Erykah DJing, and then she had some other dope female DJs on there. So
yeah, I got a chance to peep that. Yep.
It was good. It was free too. So
we were blessed. All of it was free.
I know it was good. It was good. But we'll move on. Okay, so Drake dropped a new project. It's not his album. Let's see if I still have it up on my phone here. It is not an album. It was just like a pack of, I guess, singles that he came out with. It was called Dark Lane Demo Tapes. And I think he has that 2C Slide song on there. Have you heard that one?
I have. I want to check it out. And it was something. I was thinking maybe, you know, just something for the quarantiners to pop to.
Yeah. I think that's what he did. I think kind of just grouped together some singles to package them a different kind of way. It did feature Future. It featured Young Thug and Chris Brown on one of the songs. I kind of gave a quick listen to it. It's typical Drake stuff. I mean, Drake is always a high performer when it comes to his music. I like 2C Slide.
Creator.
Yeah. I like 2C Slide for its TikTok value. It was something fun for the quarantine.
Like, it was just, Fun for the quarantine. Like I heard it, I wasn't like, oh, this is the next hit. You know, I was like, oh, this is about, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what do you think
Okay.
about that though? What do you think about artists now making songs specifically for certain apps? Like they're gearing it towards like TikTok so that people can create dances, not necessarily for just the listening value.
I think, all right, so you go where, the audience, where they are, number
Mm-hmm.
one. If your audience is on TikTok and that's all the rage, then I guess you'll be there too. I guess, it took me a quick minute to get on TikTok, but the key is the youth. So if you want to stay relevant, target the youth. I'm always forever talking about marketing and targeting, but yeah, target the youth, which is what he's doing. And you wonder why he's always fresh. Well, he follows, where the crowd is. So
Yeah. I totally agree with that. I think it works well for Drake. Like
it
if you're
works
on
well
the,
for him. That's his niche.
yeah, I think a new artist coming out trying to get a TikTok song to hit might be a little bit
Let's
more
get on
difficult.
TikTok.
Creating the dances, but it is fun for the youth, so it's all good. I did hear that he's supposed to be coming out with his official studio album sometime this late summer, so we'll see how that is. We'll try to review it here.
Okay. I'll be
Yeah,
surprised if it wasn't good.
yeah, I like all this stuff, honestly.
Can you ever run out of content, Drake? There will always be a broken heart somewhere.
I know. Okay, we're moving along. We got oh, it's a possible Brandy versus Monica battle for Verzuz.
Need
People
to
were talking about that. What do you think about that?
I think that I think it'll be cute. Monica, her vocal range is so chilling. Like she is a singer, and
Mhm.
then Brandy's spirit is so lovely, and we miss her. I think she came back for a second with Common. Actually, I think it was Common and Moo Moo Fresh, and
Mhm.
she did a Sounds of Blackness flip with them. That Be Optimistic.
Oh, okay.
And she was on that. Yeah, that was really, really dope. So I've definitely been missing Brandy. And then just to hear from Monica, I think that'd be super dope. Do I think it'll get as much as Erykah Badu and Jill? That'll be something to see.
Yeah, it will be something to see. And I don't know if it's going to be the same loving vibes because I think they were really battling at one point.
No, that was for real. Like, I was just, I thought it was really good for the boy is mine. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but they was really
I was reading
battling.
articles, but they really threw hands. So I don't know. It might be a really competitive
So
battle.
that's just a rumor then. Anybody getting together. If they get together, it needs to be a love fest because we need to, we don't need to have no. Erykah Badu and them set the bar. That's all I can say.
They sure did set the bar. I did see some peeps of an album cover from Brandy with a 7 on it. So it must be her 7th studio album. So I think she's gonna be dropping a
Oh, that's
project
nice.
soon. Um,
Oh,
I
wow.
saw
I
it.
miss her voice.
Yeah, I know. I saw the picture on Instagram. I didn't get the name of the album. So whenever it does come out, we'll have to review that here too. Maybe we'll do a
Yeah,
slapper. It's
that'll
a
be
wrap
dope.
for that.
Brandy.
So we'll move along. Oh, we have some good news. Meek Mill has welcomed his first child with his girlfriend Milan Harris. So that is
Oh,
congratulations for Meek
okay.
Mill. That's
Congrats.
on the hot topics.
Yeah, new life.
Yeah, new life. And
Crazy. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's dope that, he's embracing fatherhood. I like to see Black fathers involved and excited. He's been posting a lot on Twitter. So I like that. Like that energy, Meek. Our
You're a
next one.
solid brother.
Yeah, for real. So this kind of went unnoticed, I would have to say. This is kind of crazy. Chris Brown released I guess a mixtape, they're calling it, with Slime or the Young Thug. So the title of the mixtape is Slime and B, and it's a joint mixtape. I didn't get a chance to listen to any of the songs on here, but I thought that was kind of interesting that it hasn't got a lot of publicity. Have you seen any articles on it?
Because when I saw it, I was like, what they did, what now? But Chris been working, anybody that can do 60,000 songs on one album,
Mm-hmm.
is a worker. So he's liable to be seen doing a lot. So,
Yeah.
all right, and I guess I look forward to checking that out for the quality. Slime. I'm like, is Slime Young Thug or something? Here I go again with my confusion.
Yeah, I think Slime is Young Thug and B is Chris Brown.
All right,
So
Slime and B. Slime
yeah,
and B.
I haven't seen a lot of
That's,
reviews on that, so I'm gonna check out some reviews and check out some of the music. Seems like Young Thug is really working because he was one of the features on Drake's project too.
and you know what? You know what? Yeah, I'm about to bring up a conspiracy, y'all. Now, Young Thugger, I saw one of his videos where he said he stopped wearing his fingernails painted because of his son.
Okay.
And yeah, and he said, when his son asked if it was okay, that's when he said, "Oh my God!" So he stopped doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And he did go to the degree that he would have to pay a price for that. So maybe that's why it's not promoted. Conspiracy.
That's interesting. I didn't think about that.
There we go.
Mm-hmm. I know I haven't seen him in a dress in a while, so that's one thing.
Yeah, they probably like, all right, we didn't have enough of y'all Negroes waking up. All right.
Okay, next on our hot topics. Oh, this is on a sadder note, but music mogul Andre Harrell passes at the age of 59, founder of influential R&B hip hop label Uptown Records, which included Mary J. Blige, Guy, Geddy Riley, or Diddy, Jodeci, Soul, for real. Details of his death are not yet known, but Harrell's passing was first announced by DJ D-Nice on his Instagram Live early Saturday.
DJ D-Nice. See, man, all right, so Andre Harrell, so he brought us the groups like Guy. I remember when Guy was out. I was playing their record just the other day, but Teddy Riley was a part of that group, Guy. Mm. And then Teddy Riley went on to become a major producer. He was also responsible for, he was with, Andre Harrell was with Russell Simmons. Mm-hmm. And he became general manager for Def Jam. And then he broke off to form the Uptown Records. So he's just a critical part of history, so much rich history. And so he even brought us, Diddy. I don't know if we mentioned that, Mary J. Blige, Guy, Diddy, Jodeci, Soul for Real. Mm-hmm. So giants, Teddy Riley, Diddy. Exactly. I mean, so that's a lot, that's leaving us. So, thank you for your contribution.
Yeah, man, I'll be pleased with him. Yeah, I mean, Instagram is definitely pouring out love. I saw so many celebrities just giving love towards him and posting things and posting pictures with him and how he's been so instrumental in their careers coming up. Babyface was supposed to do a Waiting to Exhale Mother's Day special on Instagram, and he postponed that so that he could properly, mourn and just recognize what the events that are occurring right now. So we will be looking forward to his concert later, but I think it is important for us to take time and remember all his great works and all the things in his life and just celebrate him.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, when death happens, you're supposed to reflect, because that's the period on someone's life. So
exactly. So our next hot topic, Betty Wright, known for R&B classics such as Tonight is the Night and No Pain, No Gain, Wright's ubiquitous 1972 single Clean Up Woman would be immortalized in hip-hop soul history when it was sampled for the remix of Mary J. Blige's Real Love. So we lost another great.
Yeah, it's all connected, Mary J. Blige again, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So all of this rich culture, it's we need to dig into these books. They're books now for us to study. Exactly. So we can rebuild, off of that and enhance our culture, learn, lessons of the industry, but just do it, the right way this time. But I value everything that they have given to us. So, may Allah be pleased with Betty Wright. No pain, no gain, boy. If your grandma or somebody ain't clean up to that on Sunday, no pain, no gain.
I know, really.
Somebody auntie was blasting that.
Oh my gosh. So our last topic for Hot Topics is the Recording Academy, the Grammys, finally has a chief diversity officer, Valicia Butterfield Jones, who was previously global head of inclusion at Google and has been appointed for the Academy's newly established Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer position. What do you think about this?
When I first read it, I was like, okay, this is their first time having a diversity officer. I said, okay, maybe, they're trying to appeal to a modern, culture. And then, I looked at the history of, Alicia Butterfield Jones, and she has an excellent reputation in the field of media and arts and culture and things like that. So I said, oh, wow, she seems, she's pretty solid, congrats for her. The Recording Academy. Now, as I look further, I saw that they had a scandal and that they were using this, of course, as any company would do, to repair,
Mm-hmm.
What's going on. So I don't know. What are your thoughts about what happened to get her in that position?
I think a lot of companies have been hiding things. The Me Too movement exposed so much within all these different companies about sexual harassment, sexual assaults. That was just norm for all these companies in Hollywood and music and all these different industries. It wasn't even just music industry. It was all these industries, film. So, I think that I like the cleanup that's going on, but I'm also concerned that I wonder if this position is just just something like you said, just to appease the audience, just to say like, oh, look, we're taking these steps to try to repair this. And if she's really going to have executive power to do anything, it's nice to have figureheads, to say, oh, look, we have our token person here for diversity.
Yes.
I want to see how that plays out into, the artist and all that other things that go on with the Grammy show. So yeah, I'm kind of on a wait and see kind of vibe with this.
At a certain, one of the things I take away from that is the fact, like Alicia Butterfield, I think that she is a great, great, great dynamic figure. And I think at a certain point, we're going to start seeing that we are much bigger than the institutions, and, we can take, our gifts for us, ending exploitation altogether. So
right.
With that, speaking of women always bring change. So speaking of women and executive positions, we have a great interview with a local executive.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into that.
Yeah, let's get into that.
Peace and blessings. You are here for our very first interview of Headphones and Head Wrap, Season 1, Episode 2, with my very beautiful, intelligent soror, Chelsea Harris of Exposure Entertainment. So we're going to go ahead and just jump into the interview. Chelsea, our first question for you is just tell us about yourself and how'd you got into music.
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in LA, in Los Angeles, California. So that's the capital of all music and entertainment, right? So music has just always been a part of my life, part of really just a passion of mine since I was really young. I started singing and songwriting at about like 8 or 9 years old, and studied voice and piano for about 10 years before I graduated high school. I sang in choir in church and in school. And then I went to when I went to college, I studied business management and voice studies. So that's really kind of how I got started. Some of the things that I was able to do while in college, I started a singing group with 2 of my best friends. That was a really fun experience. We love to sing and songwrite together all the time anyway. So we just were like, let's start a group. So I was about 19 years old and we were like, we called the group Scenery, which is a play on our names, all 3 of our names together. And it just, that was a great experience. It didn't fully work out because they had some other ideas of what they wanted to do with their lives. They weren't as passionate about music. And last but not least, I got a chance to intern with entertainment companies when I was in college, BT Networks and Warner Brother Records. I worked for them for a little while and was able to get some experience in their marketing department. So.
Okay. So I have a question for you. So what's your motivation and what made you want to start up Exposure?
So my motivation, I would really say, so I'll start with this. I moved to Arizona in 2014, right? And when I moved there, I noticed there was a lot of really talented artists that were out in Arizona, but because Arizona is not as known for entertainment and music and as somewhere like LA, I noticed a lot of them really didn't have like the platform to really showcase their skills. So I I basically decided, I thought, you know, I want to find a way where I can help artists and help them find trustworthy services that they can utilize. Because I mean, let's be honest, a lot of artists don't really, some of them don't really have the background in the business knowledge of it. They really just want to get out there and do their art, which is really what we want them to do, right? They do what they're supposed to do, is make art. So I decided to start Exposure in August of 2017. So really the premise behind Exposure is we help independent artists with gaining access to resources and tools that they need to be successful in the music business. So the main thing is that we want to provide artists with a platform to showcase their skills and just really create a community of like-minded independent artists that can just come together and make art. I mean, really just collaborate together and find ways where we can help each other. So different things that we've provided. I have a website where artists can display their music, their upcoming shows, those kind of things on there. Artists in the community also get access to resources like discounted services. So I've done the legwork of networking for the artists and connected with a lot of recording studios and photographers, videographers, and other people around the Phoenix area, so that I could help artists get access to these services for maybe a discounted rate and those kind of things. So it's really just about connecting artists together and building a community of like-minded people.
Yeah, that's really dope. I think that's really important too, because I know when I first got started up, you don't know where to go to record or who the best engineers are. So having somebody that, you know, can come in there and help you out with that side of the business is really dope. And I forgot to tell you, Arian, Chelsea did help me out on, I think, was in my first music video. I used a videographer that was listed with her service. So that was really dope because I didn't know a lot of videographers out here in this area. So I did enjoy that. And I think that's really dope, everything you're doing with Exposure. But, you know, we're now in the quarantine and everybody's locked in. So how are you adjusting to the quarantine with your business?
Let me tell you, girls, like, honestly, this quarantine is really taking me for a loop. Honestly, I've decided to kind of rebrand Exposure. To be honest, I had several events planned for artists. I forgot to say this, but I also plan events. I've had an event going on last year where we had a freestyle battle and it was real fun. And we did a few really cool events last year. And then this pandemic happened and it kind of pulled the rug up from underneath me as far as those things were concerned. So I have to be more creative in finding ways where we can still connect with each other virtually or just in different ways without having to actually get together in that way. So I just really been taking this time to reach out to other artists, producers, songwriters, other creatives, and just really see what's really needed in the industry today. Because at the end of the day, we would just have to really get an understanding of what is needed for these artists and what we're, you know, after all of this is over, what's going to be the biggest takeaway? Like how can we make sure that we're prepared for anything that's thrown our way? So I've just been trying to focus on working on those things. And I've also been focusing on my own music. So even though I had a little background in you know, in the music business side, the actual artist side, I haven't physically done really like professionally. So I'm really getting more into that and trying to just focus on those things and just really finding ways where we can just help artists be more sustainable, especially during a time like this. So
okay, good. So one of the reasons I was excited to interview was because of your business and prior experience, you know, on the executive level. And, you know, artists can really benefit from that. So your own career can actually benefit, you know, from your experiences as well.
That's true.
So next question. No, go ahead, elaborate.
I was just gonna say that honestly, being able to get into this, how can I help artists with if I've never done it before, right? How can I have to set the example, right? And so I really want to make sure that I'm setting that tone to say I've done this, I've been through this before. I've worked with these kind of not only do I know these engineers or I know these songwriters or whomever else they want to connect with, but I've worked with them and I can vouch for that, So all I'm saying is I definitely think that that's gonna definitely help help my business overall, and just help other artists and help myself as an artist. So I agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead because this next question is, how do you think, or whether do you think things have progressed for women in the industry? Because we talked about earlier how the new Recording Academy, they appointed a female chief of diversity.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword. I'm gonna be honest. I think, I honestly, I think we've definitely progressed, but we still have a lot of work to do, and I'll kind of explain a little more. So, we've been seeing so many more women in powerful positions, such as this. I think her name was Felicia Butterfield Jones. Is that?
Yeah.
Who's just appointed, and I mean, the fact that the Recording Academy is even concerned about having a, diverse, concerned about diversity overall, I think that speaks volumes, because that means they're trying to move forward and do better, and it's something that concerns them, right? And we've even seen like progress in like hip hop. So if I'm looking at like, think about some of the most mainstream respected women rappers in the game in the recent years. If you're thinking about like a Cardi B, a Meg Thee Stallion, City Girls, Saweetie, Nicki Minaj, like there's a lot of really great mainstream hip hop females nowadays that really wasn't as mainstream previously. So I think, I think that's really a progression, right? But I still think that a lot of these really successful women still have to be extremely attractive. They still have to show off their bodies, focus on sex and sexualized topics. You know what I'm saying? So I really, and I mean, I get it. It gains the male attention and those male listeners. But if you look back at like the Missy Elliott's, the Lauryn Hills, the Queen Latifahs, the MC Lights, you know what I'm saying? They were focusing on some conscious lyrics that were really important about what's going on in the world. But the thing is, they weren't as main. I mean, I'm sure all of us know who those folks are because we're in music and hip hop, and that's our thing, right? But pop music, I don't know if I could pull somebody who really listens to pop music and say, do you know who Yo-Yo is? Do you know who, do you know who, they might somewhat know, but not really. Don't know their music and stuff. So I just think we've come a long way, but we just have a long way to go. That's what
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I can agree with that too, for sure. Because even in the names that you name, like some of the rappers that are trying to go the more conscious route that are female, like the No Names and the Tierra Wax and the Rhapsodies, those artists aren't being pushed as much as like you said, the Nicki Minaj's, the Cardi B's, the Sweeties, and those. Yeah. So it is, I think, still male dominant. So I really like the fact that you are doing both sides, the business side and the artist side, so we can see women in those different aspects of the industry, because that's important for young girls coming up to see like, okay, you can do both, or you can do either or. It's, it can be either thing you want to do. But being a female, what was one of your greatest fears stepping into the business?
I would have to say, I mean, and this might sound cliche, but I was afraid of failing. Like let's be honest. Like I was worried that people that my music might not be good enough. The fact that I'm even now, like going into the industry, from an artist side, I just wasn't sure how people would take my music. And when think about it, like when you put your music out there, you're sharing your most intimate parts of you, your own inner thoughts, your emotions, your life experiences. Like these are real things that happen to me. You know what I'm saying? So I think you're worried about how are people going to judge me, who I am, what I've been through, all those things. But at the end of the day, you do this for you do this for your fans, you do this for the love of music. And I just realized it's bigger than just you. And you've got to focus on how can I uplift these people and show them that, because think about it, when you listen to a song, like you're like, when you resonate with a song, it's like sometimes music has gotten me through some of the hardest times in my life, like just listening to a song about somebody who's gone through a similar experience, right? So I want to be able to do that with artists, like even think about like Beyonce, Michael Jackson, like some Prince, some of these iconic artists even had haters.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, does that even matter? They had fans, so does all the, you know, you're gonna have haters, but at the end of the day, you gotta fail in order to succeed, and so I think that was really my biggest fear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I really appreciate that, coming from the perspective of an artist and an executive. I do want to throw this in there, though. We were just talking about the Recording Academy and the female being appointed, but that's in light of a scandal that happened involving sexual harassment. So,
really,
right, that's the whole reason.
A little bit about that, but I don't know all the details. I gotta brush up.
Right, so it's like, all right. So thank you for bringing that positivity and that balance, you know, back to the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So I would ask, what are your plans now for exposure and yourself?
So again, you know, since the quarantine, I just really had to go back to my roots, focus on my own music. So I'll be releasing an EP later on this year. Working on it now. I feel like I'm using this time to really focus on that. So I'm actually taking a songwriting class.
Nice.
I'm taking voice lessons, piano lessons again. I got out of that. You know, it's crazy because it's when you don't use it, you lose it. And that's really true. Like, I'm like, I really studied all this before, and now I feel like I have to go back. So if I could give any advice to anybody is don't stop. When you gotta make sure you keep going, you know, and so and
now is the time.
Right.
Exactly.
So use this time. Like we always have all these things where we say, oh, when I have time, I'll do this. When I get time, I'm gonna do that. You have time now, right? So I'm just taking this time to like sharpen my skills and just really make sure that I focus on putting out a great work. And then also, of course, doing what I can to help my artists. So connecting them, collaborating. I'm still focused on some of those things, but really, I want to make sure I'm focusing on my artistry so that I can then pass on the knowledge to other artists.
That's dope.
Nice.
Exactly. There's so many different levels you can reach in music. Like, not everybody's going to be at a Beyonce level in their career. But some people make music just for the love of it, and some people make music and they're successful locally. Like, I think about like Master P. I mean, he did have like big commercial success, but he was a millionaire just before that, just selling CDs out of his trunk and doing his business locally. So what is your definition of success?
I would say my biggest definition of success would be leaving a legacy on this world, like leaving a mark. At the end of my life, when I look back at my life, do I have any regrets? Was I all used up? Like, squeeze every ounce of everything out of me. That's what I feel like. I feel like I'll be successful if I can say that no matter what happens, at least I tried. You know, I have no regrets. I can't go back and be like, I wish I had put out that CD. I wish I had performed or did this or that, right? Like, just do it. And another thing is, I think having a genuine human connection with other people, especially in this industry, let's be honest, it's cutthroat. There's great people, but there's some shady folks out there. And so I think my biggest thing is making sure that I have that human connection with people and being able to do right by them and connect them and just be a good person and just, you know what I'm saying? And just share this love for this music. And last but not least, I would say living my dreams and passion, I think, is a definition of success. So
yes,
so many people in this world don't walk in their purpose. They don't walk in their passion. They don't do what they were put on this earth to do. Whatever your belief system is, whatever that is, like, I feel like there's so many people out there that are just living day to day, just kind of letting life go on and not really like focusing on what's the next step. Like, what am I doing that's going to make me happy and that's going to make an impact on this world. So I think that's what makes somebody successful.
I agree. I think that was awesome. Definitely inspiring.
I agree also.
Okay. Do you have any more questions, Queen D?
No, that was it. I enjoyed hearing from you today, Chelsea. I'm so glad that you were able to continue on with your business and your personal artistry. Like, I'm gonna be looking forward to your EP at the end of the year. And we'll definitely try to mention it here on our podcast.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, for real.
All right. So before you go, we do have a song that we play. It's called Name That Song. I'm sorry, a game that we play called Name That Song.
Yes.
And if you're ready for it, I can go ahead and read the lyrics to you and see if you can guess it.
Okay.
So it is a pop song.
It's a popular song? A pop song, you said?
Yeah, it's a pop song. So
Okay.
it may not be currently popular, but it's a pop song.
Okay.
So
Try.
So she's gonna read the lyrics backwards, and after she reads it, you're gonna have 10 seconds. And I have a timer here,
Oh Lord.
and we're gonna give you 10 seconds to guess the name of the song or the artist.
Okay.
So let me set it to 10 seconds. All right, go ahead, Erin.
all right. All right. Oh, this is gonna be. I hope you get this. All right. Shores weeping, earth crying. Notice to stop. Ever you did. Before shed weave, blood be all. Notice to stop. Ever you did.
I have no idea.
Did you read the whole thing?
Pop song? I don't
Okay, I'm gonna start the timer. Go.
I could guess. I don't know.
Okay.
You said it's pop, so like earth shattering.
Oh, 10 seconds. What was the song? I didn't get that one either.
This is Michael Jackson Earth Song. I'm so sorry.
Earth song.
Oh.
Okay. I'm thinking right now. I'm like, okay, Ed Sheeran. I'm thinking Ed Sheeran. Like I'm in my head, like thinking of.
I was like, I thought it was Earth, Wind, and Fire. I was like, what's
Do you know when you pull up a Michael Jackson song, if I said something like human or nature, you was gonna get it.
Right.
That's true.
Right. So you Earth song. I don't even know the words of Earth song except the It's all good.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for joining us
Thank you so much.
today. And we hope to hear from you soon.
Yeah. I look forward to it. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Bye. Peace.